Breaking news. The British government is confronting a challenge unlike any other. Not a foreign dictator, not a billionaire, but a single individual, Prince William. And what he is doing right now has the potential to reshape the way Britain is governed. This is not speculation and it is not tabloid sensationalism. This is the exercise of real, tangible power, the kind that operates behind closed doors, influencing which laws pass and which quietly die. Prince William is not sitting idly waiting for his turn to ascend the throne. He is actively shaping policy, and Downing Street is watching with genuine concern. Central to his influence is a mechanism few outside Westminster understand: Prince's consent. At first glance, it sounds ceremonial, but it is anything but. Certain proposed laws, particularly those affecting the Duchy of Cornwall, must pass through William's review before reaching Parliament. He has the authority to scrutinise, question and request changes. Sources indicate that this process has already begun. What once was a procedural formality is now a substantive negotiation. Ministers report receiving detailed notes and questions from Kensington Palace. Consider the implications: legislation covering housing, land use or energy policy, if it intersects with William's interests, must be addressed to his satisfaction before it proceeds. The Prime Minister cannot publicly challenge this without risking a constitutional crisis, nor can he ignore it. William's oversight provides leverage few politicians have ever encountered, but reviewing legislation is only one dimension of his strategy. Over the past 18 months, William has quietly assembled a team of specialists, former diplomats, tech strategists, environmental experts, effectively a shadow cabinet, though unofficially. This private operation moves with a speed and decisiveness that government initiatives cannot match. Where ministerial projects can take months or years, William can act immediately. The Earthshot Prize, for example, required no parliamentary approval, only William's resources and connections. This shift has tangible consequences. International leaders and global business figures increasingly prioritise meetings with William over ministers. When foreign presidents or major corporations seek engagement with Britain, the question is no longer whether they meet the Prime Minister, who may be in office for only a short term. They meet with the Prince, who represents continuity and long-term influence. The government cannot fully control these interactions, and in doing so, William is creating a parallel power centre with substantial political, financial and diplomatic reach. Reports suggest the Foreign Office is uneasy, even frustrated. They rely on Prince William because he opens doors that government ministers cannot, yet they have no control over what he says or does once inside those rooms. He is effectively conducting his own foreign engagement, cultivating relationships and advancing priorities that matter to him. Climate initiatives, mental health programmes, conservation projects, regardless of whether they align with the government's agenda. What we are witnessing is the emergence of a parallel power centre, one financed independently. In politics, control often follows the money. Civil servants and ministers are beholden to their budgets, cut the funding, and compliance follows. That paradigm does not apply to William. The Duchy of Cornwall is not a symbolic estate. It is a corporate entity with assets exceeding $1 billion, spanning 130,000 acres across England, including coastline, commercial properties, residential developments, and even land beneath a prison. It generates over $23 million annually in private income. These are William's resources, distinct from taxpayer funding and beyond parliamentary leverage. His financial independence grants him a level of operational freedom that makes him a formidable figure in British politics. He does not answer to ministers. He does not require government approval. While Westminster struggles to balance budgets and asks citizens to tighten belts, William operates from a self-sustaining financial platform, and he is actively using it. He invests in initiatives he prioritises, and in doing so, he routinely outpaces government efforts. These projects do not hinge on election cycles or political tides, but influence in the 21st century is not won with money alone. The battleground is also cultural and digital. For decades, the royal family adhered to one guiding principle: never complain, never explain, remain silent, maintain mystique. William has rejected that model entirely. In today's media environment, silence seeds the narrative. He understands that to remain relevant and effective, he must control the story himself. Kensington Palace now operates like a fully fledged media enterprise, producing cinematic, emotionally driven content designed to engage and spread rapidly across social platforms. When William posts a video, it can reach hundreds of millions within hours without any intermediary news outlet. Contrast this with government communications. The Prime Minister delivers prepared speeches filtered through journalists and editorial processes. By the time the message reaches the public, it may be buried, diluted or ignored. William, meanwhile, can showcase tangible action, addressing homelessness, environmental projects or community programmes, creating an immediate visual narrative that resonates far more effectively than parliamentary debate. This strategic media advantage has significant political consequences. The public increasingly sees a prince who acts decisively and visibly, while politicians debate reforms and initiatives in slow-moving bureaucratic channels. He is not attacking the government, but the contrast alone undermines them. Public trust, influence and attention are shifting toward William, a development that should be deeply concerning in Downing Street. Adding another layer of complexity is the dynamic within the monarchy itself. King Charles, who ascended after a 70-year apprenticeship, maintains a deliberate, methodical approach. Letters, formal meetings, incremental reforms. William operates differently, with speed, decisiveness and impatience. Insiders describe a cold war between Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace, two courts, divergent strategies and competing visions of what the modern monarchy should be. The result is a profound challenge for government ministers. The monarch commands official authority, but the prince commands attention, global influence and public trust. The question for Westminster is stark. Who do ministers take guidance from, the reigning king or the heir apparent who will shape the nation for decades to come? This internal division poses a significant risk to the monarchy itself. A house fighting within is a house exposed, and there are keen observers watching closely, waiting for any sign of weakness. For decades, British Republicans, the movement advocating for the abolition of the monarchy, were largely easy to dismiss. Fringe protests, occasional headlines, that has changed. The death of Queen Elizabeth removed a crucial stabilising factor. She commanded cross-generational respect, and criticism of her felt almost untouchable. That shield is gone. Today's Republican movement has evolved. They no longer attack personalities. William is too popular for that. Instead, they target wealth. In a country where millions struggle with energy bills and food insecurity, their message resonates. Why do members of the royal family live in palaces while nurses rely on food banks? They are leveraging freedom of information requests, highlighting security costs and detailing every pound taxpayers contribute to royal estates. And they are winning attention among younger generations. Polls consistently show that Gen Z and millennials are significantly less supportive of the monarchy than previous generations. This presents a stark challenge for William. Every public display of wealth, every high-profile project risks fueling the narrative against both him and the government. Politicians are unlikely to intervene. A weakened monarchy serves their purposes. If William pushes too hard, they can step back while Republicans take the political hit. William understands this dynamic. He knows that traditional arguments, history, divine right, inherited privilege, carry little weight in the current climate. One misstep, one tone-deaf action during an economic crisis, and the monarchy's reputation could suffer irreparable damage. According to multiple sources within royal circles, William is preparing a radical transformation of the institution. He reportedly intends to streamline the monarchy, removing extended family members who benefit from privileges without contributing. Significantly, his focus, a core monarchy, limited to the direct line of succession. This plan has reportedly caused significant tension within the royal family, prompting appeals to the king. But William appears unmoved. His reasoning is strategic. In a democracy under economic pressure, a bloated royal household is an easy target. Reduce the excess, remove the ammunition. William's reforms go beyond personnel. He reportedly plans to make royal properties more accessible, transforming palaces from private fortresses into public assets, museums, event spaces, revenue-generating sites. Traditionalists may view this as sacrilege, but William frames it as necessary for survival. He's betting that modern Britain values transparency and tangible benefit over mystery and pageantry, a gamble that could redefine the monarchy. Where does this leave the institution? We are witnessing an unprecedented scenario in modern British history. A prince actively consolidating power, building an independent operation, funding initiatives, commanding media influence, and establishing international relationships. Westminster struggles to keep pace. Politicians cannot control his finances, match his popularity, or compete in the digital attention economy. Meanwhile, Republican critics are ready to exploit any misstep. His father's court remains a competing force within the monarchy itself. William is navigating a razor's edge, the potential to become the most influential British monarch in a century, or the man whose miscalculation accelerates the decline of a 1,000-year-old institution. The stakes are immense, and the outcome will shape Britain for generations. This is not simply a story about royalty. It is a study in power, who holds it, who challenges it, and what happens when established rules no longer apply. Most of the public will never hear this side of the story until now. The next few years will be decisive, and the most consequential moves will occur away from cameras and headlines. William's decisions will define not only his legacy, but the future of the monarchy itself.